So let's call the meeting of the Jackson County Board of Adjustment to order, the August 25th of 2025. If we could have roll call, please.
Dave Kendall,
Here.
Pete Fish,
Here.
A. John Arns,
Here.
Daryl Ford,
Here.
and Mike Nicholson is absent and excused.
And has everyone reviewed the minutes from the July 28th meeting? And if so, is there any discussion?
I move we approve the minutes as presented and revised.
We have a motion, we have a second. I'll second it. Motion and second, all in favor of the motion, then aye. Motion carried. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the public hearing of the Jackson County Board of Adjustment is docket 25-09. Special exception from Tom and Diane Federspiel. 27570 46th Avenue, Bernard, Section 9, Butler Township. And so does the secretary have anything to fill us in on before the applicant?
The parcel contains an existing single-family residence and a shed. The stated intent is to sell the parcel to a family member while retaining the surrounding ag land. The minimum lot size required in the A1 district is 2 acres, so the proposal represents a reduction of nearly 50%, thus triggering the need for a special exception. There are no changes to the land use, structures, or infrastructures that are being proposed at this time. The lot size, if approved, would be then non-conforming. The residential use exists today and would remain unchanged, but the reduced lot size would not conform to minimum A1 standards without the special exception. The site is served by an existing driveway, no issues anticipated with access or emergency response. Utilities are private with the well and septic, and no expansion is proposed. I think that's all I have. I'm not.
Did anyone
I have
comment?
heard no comment. And nobody is online.
Here, Federspiels, come up and tell us what you got, what your plans are.
It's our grandson that wants to buy the house and the one building. And he doesn't have the money to buy very much more for one thing. But the big deal is this other, if we did the 2 acres, it would take in all the buildings on this farm. And that includes the water system. And we have a pasture that runs up to the buildings. And there's no way for the cows to get water if they don't have the buildings, is the biggest problem we got. Well, other than that, that's just what it is. We'd just like to do the 1 acre so he can have what he wants. And then as far as the farming practice goes, then we can still rent out the pasture and the water system.
So is the well and the septic tank are gonna be on the property that your grandson intends to buy?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have a well agreement
Mhm.
with him that as far as
It
maintenance.
sits right on the line is where the well is. The
Okay,
septic system is, we just put a new septic system in a year ago. And for
And
the
that's-
house.
and that's on the property,
That
he's gonna-
Yeah.
that the well sits right in the borderline between the two.
Yeah.
And this shows the farm.
Yeah, that's farming the buildings, yeah.
Now, when you say that the issue is that you can't
You can,
sell them 2 acres.
yeah,
Because-
can I show it to you?
Sure.
Maybe. If we sold them the 2 acres, it'd come way down here. And this is where the shed or the building is, that's the water tank that we're talking about. That's the only water tank. To do all this, there's 20 acres of pasture.
Well, how about above it? Isn't that ground that you own as well?
The ground above it, we don't own anymore.
You don't own any of that?
No, that's Cooks. They bought that from us. Yeah. That's what we're trying to do.
So going down the road to the southwest, you own another 20 acres or so down there along.
We own like 47 acres altogether. We own it all at one time.
Pretty much all fronts the road there.
Mhm. Yeah, and there's just no way to get water to that pasture if they don't come up here.
Okay, it's okay, I see, I see. Can you bring that up?
Mhm.
Hold that up a little. So everything that's outlined in red is your property? Or what?
This is the pasture. Through
Yeah.
there.
Right,
Put up that other one, then I'll know where I'm at again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It goes down south. And then we have a house that our daughter lives in. It'd be up there more. This is all Cook's spot, all this.
Yeah.
you're saying everything to the left right there?
Yeah, this is the pasture.
There's like 12 acres in there. I have a few cows.
Becca, how many divisions have there been in that 40 acres now?
No, I did not look that up. I remember Lori talking about that with you and it was still okay, but there wasn't, it hadn't hit its limit.
The 40 acres Cook's spot have. On the pasture. Well, they farm it.
So it looked like 3 or 4 splits in that 40. Or
Well, I don't know.
Tony Cook owns that, Tony Cook owns that, Tony Cook owns that.
because that line goes straight across, there's 1, 2, 3 field vision.
This is the same parcel with this. Or with, that's happened
Yeah, I don't know.
at some point.
Yeah. The road was,
We got the same parcel number,
Yeah,
yeah.
probably shouldn't have.
probably not.
This seems similar to what Shekel requested about 2 years ago. You remember that over off of Mill Creek Road?
It's been more than 2 years ago,
Well, yeah,
but I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
maybe it's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But there was a bunch of splits there in a little corner, and they split off an acre for a mobile home or something, or, so I don't.
I don't know.
Are you gonna give your grandson an option on the buildings or anything, or is it assumed he's gonna buy it, or just,
He doesn't want anything to do with it because he said he can't
Oh.
afford it.
he's just looking for a place to live in the country?
Yeah, he's not, real. Want to get an environment in it.
How long ago was this all sold to Troy Cook?
They had bought, we had like 300 acres at one time and they bought so many pieces. They bought the south side and then they bought the north side.
Okay.
That's what they did.
Will, okay. I think if we get what you're trying to do, so,
Yeah, it's one of them deals that when dad died, he wanted farm gotta stay, that farmhouse gotta stay in the family name. We can't do anything about it.
okay. Okay, thank you. Any other comments from you guys refer the next deal?
Yeah.
Any other comments you said from the public? No, no one. Anybody else have any more questions for the applicant?
Close the public hearing.
We have a motion to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, motion with an aye? Aye. Public hearing is closed. Discussion.
What's our justification been in the past when we did this? I mean, this has been done before.
Yes, Committee.
Well, yeah, and I need to do. I can't, we had that one over near Baldwin, Monmouth one time where they had two houses that were next to each other. And the grandmother wanted to retain the house and then. And that one was a pretty close split too. That was two houses that were split.
Yeah, that was not the winery, was it?
What?
Wasn't the winery, was it? Two houses.
No, it was over beyond Mill Rock Schoolhouse down there somewhere. I can't remember, but I guess this one's most similar to that Shekel one that
Right,
I was thinking about, because that ended up being 4 small lots with 5 or 6 splits and a quarter there. So I don't know, that's the only one that I can think of is similar in a rural area.
well, what do you think, Pete? You got anything, what do you think? Anything?
They seem to be, I mean, maybe not this exact circumstance, but it seems to be going up a lot.
Seems what? He thinks that, the request for a small lot is coming a lot, but,
We just had one last month or month before.
I thought I had a different solution for him, but my solution that I came here with doesn't work, so. Well, why don't you? Like, this what we.
No, I thought I thought that they owned the property that obviously the Cooks owned.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
that,
Yeah,
and that they just didn't want to stop farming that. There would have been a workaround for that, but no. And I didn't agree with that. I didn't think that out.
well. Here's my concern. You know, I'm not, I know, John, you're talking about, Dave, you're talking about all the splits and that.
Right.
I'm looking at, you know, they're just gonna share a driveway here. I assume that you're gonna share the driveway. And you know, down the road, one sells and one, now you know, it's not in the family anymore.
And they're sharing a well too.
And they're sharing a well. Creates a problem, and then probably none of us will be here. But somebody else will have to deal with it, and the 2 acres is not a lot of property. So I don't see. It's kind of an unusually shaped situation here.
Well, and the other thing about it too, the 2 acres goes to the red line, which is in the center of the road too, doesn't it? I mean, the 1 acre,
Right?
so,
It's even smaller than you think.
yeah.
There's with the right of way layer.
I'm sorry, that.
I added the right of way layer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I guess my concern would be that we are potentially. If we were to grant this, that my concern is that we would be creating the possibility of a nightmare for other people, other than, I don't have any doubt, but that you and your grandson would find a way to work things out, no matter what. But one thing that I always keep reminding myself when I come to these meetings is that we're deciding this not based on just how it affects this applicant and your present neighbors, but everybody who ever touches this ground on down the road. And I do have a concern about that. I'm concerned about the shared driveway, the well water agreement, as well as the fact that it's, it's gonna be really less than an acre by the time you take the right of the road out of it.
I guess, has anybody talked to Cooks about maybe buying an acre and squaring it off against the road up there and adding? I mean, I know it's,
No, I haven't, but Cooks are really hard to deal with. They won't sell it by hand. Yeah. The only problem I can just tell you about the deal, it's a family deal. And it's gonna stay, what's left is gonna stay in our name. Or the grandkids' name. It's not gonna be. So, yeah.
Maybe it's.
yes, I would feel better. I know your grandson isn't interested in this, but I'd feel better if you sold him the buildings and leased it back from them, then at least you'd have 3 acres or 4 acres there for the future. That would be a bigger parcel. I know he's not interested in that, but that would get rid of the entrance and the well problem.
Yeah, we tried to talk him into that and if he can't do this, he don't want, so, yeah.
Who lives in the house right now?
He is, well, he's moving in September.
Okay, I see. So he's renting from you now, whatever that is. Yeah.
And he wants to buy the house.
Well,
It's awfully small.
yeah,
It's almost just too tight.
I mean, it's almost to a variance.
I'm unconvinced it's a good idea.
What's that?
I'm unconvinced that this is a good idea.
Yeah.
That's my feeling, and I'm sorry, but that's my honest opinion.
They might have to work something out to make up a larger property there.
That's, yeah. If it had more space to the north or more space to the west. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
So,
Make a motion to decline special exception.
I will second that motion.
okay, so we have a motion to decline and a second. All in favor of that motion, motion with an aye? Aye. Any opposed? So it was four opposed, four. So,
Sorry for this.
sorry about that.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Oh, thank you.
What else we should do? Okay. Okay, second item on the agenda is docket 25-9 or -10, sorry. Variance from Mark Heights. 38209 Highway 52 Bellevue, Section 7 of Taylor Morris Township. So Rebecca, if you have anything to start us out on this one.
Yes. Mark and Julie purchased this parcel in May of 2025. The parcel contains 40,075 square foot, just under an acre. The parcel was presented to the zoning commission for rezoning from A1A to R1 residential to allow the property to be split into two conforming lots. In the R1 district, the minimum lot size is 20,000 square foot. The Board of Supervisors approved the rezoning at their meeting held last week. Mark Heights and his neighbor Dennis Althouse have entered into an agreement to adjust property lines through reciprocal deed. Mark will deed 20 feet on the east side of the parcel to Mr. Althouse for use as a driveway. In return, Mr. Althouse will deed 30 feet on the west side of the property to Mark. This land swap would then ensure the proposed lot maintains the minimum 20,000 square foot for the R1 residential. And then that would then allow Mr. Althouse legal access to his back property without having to use Mark's driveway, which he is currently doing. That would then allow Mark to attach the 30-foot strip and remainder of the rezoned parcel to his home farm property that is to the west. The variance, what we're here for then, is triggered by the property line change. Proposed property line change. The deeded driveway access changes ownership of the 20-foot strip to Mr. Althouse. Because it is not an easement, but a transfer of ownership, this triggers a setback issue with the garage here. Because of the ownership shifts, the existing detached garage built in 1976 would be now too close to the new property line. And Mark is proposing to remove 6 foot of the detached garage to reduce the encroachment. But then the variance he's requesting is to allow a 0-foot side setback, which would then preserve the remainder of the garage for continued functional use at that property. The neighboring property to the east is actually, within the city of St. Nevis.
And the heights, can come up and just tell us what your plans are.
Well, I guess our farm is on over here. So right here is a real steep bank, get up from the highway, it's like 20 feet high to get there. So this driveway, for him to get back to his property was never working with the DOT because he couldn't, it was too steep to get back there. So then we didn't really want anybody building a house right here that close to our property, to our house. So we bought the Kutch thing. So then we exchanged this 30 feet to give him 20 feet down here, because then it's a perfect level. There's no hill enough to go back to his property. So the garage is 30 feet long right now. Well, a lot of garages are only like 24 deep to get a pickup in or whatever. So we propose that we can take, instead of tearing the garage completely down, we would take 6 foot off the back of it. It'd still be a 24-foot garage. He'd have his 20 foot to get through there. Is what we're trying to do.
Okay.
We don't wanna build no more houses. That's why we bought it, not to build houses.
So, is Dennis using your driveway now?
He's going out using our driveway while he was always trying to get that 30 foot
Oh, really?
straightened out. It was just a verbal thing. And
Yeah.
and there's in writing that he does not get an easement to our driveway or nothing like that. It was just that. So he's been working on this for like 20
I
years,
was gonna say, it's a long time.
trying to get the DOT
Okay.
to let him through, but he only had 30 feet. That's a real steep
Yeah,
incline, so he can't get the driveway, so.
okay.
And there's, so that's what the proposal we're trying to work out.
So up through, this is all Venice.
I'm gonna guess he's got 160 acres back there, maybe, I don't know what the ponds is.
So then he would come down and then go through the drive.
So there's an existing driveway where he's gonna go now.
Yeah, see, it comes down. His driveway now goes back to where he's got his pond and lake and stuff back there. And it comes down around, so he'd be just going straight ahead right to the highway here.
He would have, that's not a driveway now.
No.
It was his question.
But yeah, driveway turned right here and he just drove along the edge of this field and went down through my buildings.
Okay.
So now he just built a, from here to here. Driveway and comes straight through. And as the discussion is in here, he wouldn't be satisfied and you don't wanna just give him a 20-foot easement? Cause that would solve all the problems, wouldn't it? And I mean, it would, easement's great problems, but
If all that Dennis wants truly is the driveway. If you gave him a complete, unrestricted, total easement for any time of day, any time of year, any time of traffic, residential, commercial, agricultural, whatever. He basically gets everything that he would with ownership, except he wouldn't have to pay the real estate taxes.
well, I guess. How this all came about
Yeah.
was Lori. Rolling,
Yes.
rolling, yeah, okay. She, when we originally came down, we were gonna do these,
Okay,
and she said, no, I don't like easements. You need to deed it to them. So then, I said, well, I thought the setback would be street. No, it wouldn't be, she said. You can do it. We can give you a variance. You could go back there, through there.
get
So we
Lori.
had, well, that's what happened. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Guess what happened? You couldn't make that up. So then, the lawyers threw all these papers up to make it a deed and everything. And the only thing that's holding up the deal is getting through by the garage is what it amounts to.
Yeah,
Well, and the other part, Mark is intending to sell this.
I like to sell the house off because I don't
So-
need the house.
Sure.
I just wanted to lock the yard up so nobody could build another house. At 20 and 20, they could build it right next to my house and I don't want a house there.
And with
now,
an
now whatever
easement,
deal you work out, assuming a deal gets worked out and all goes forward. The parcel that you wanna keep, isn't that gonna have to be replatted? And would you propose to absorb that into one of your existing parcels?
Yeah, it'll get absorbed into the whole farm, yeah.
And this will have to, because it won't then meet the minimum R1 since everything's shifting over. So if this goes through tonight, then next month they'll be back at the zoning commission. Getting this part then back.
Hooked up to the 30 foot or
Back
go back to the whole farm, I don't care if it's
Yeah.
going back to that.
But that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
if, not only, I'm not talking about zoning, I'm talking about planning. I mean, wouldn't it then? Or couldn't it then be just replanted as part of what the Heights is already owned?
And I
Yeah,
think
it will be
Yeah.
revoked.
that's what him and Dwayne have discussed doing. And this is from the surveyor, Dwayne Jacobs, this preliminary draft of all the parcels. So even with this easement or deed, Mark will be selling this part, and so then it would be.
So the house will be the 20,000, it's not gonna be smaller than what it needs to be or nothing. And the other part, because we've taken the 20 feet off, would be technically 20 foot short, but we're adding the 30 feet and we're adding it to the whole farm, so it's gonna be, it'll be redone when the time comes, it's all surveyed, but not.
Right, but as part of this discussion, similar to what I said to the Federspiels, my concern oftentimes, as a board member, and I speak only on behalf of myself, not for these guys, is to think, not only how is this gonna affect the Heightses and Dennis, because you guys will work, obviously, you've been working things out for 20 years, you will work something out. My concern is, what happens with whoever you sell it to, and either Dennis, or when Dennis sells it or kicks the bucket. And there's a problem with that garage that needs to be repaired, replaced, recited. And if they don't get along, I mean, he can't even walk behind the building to see if it needs to be recited, because it's zero clearance. That's my concern, that someone someday could say, who in their right mind created this nightmare where he doesn't even have the ability to go behind his building to repair it?
Well,
If it was an easement, that goes away.
I guess it'd be the same as the fence trustee thing, you got the right to go on your neighbor's property to fix your fence, right? So it'd be the same kind of a deal.
It might be similar, I don't think it's exactly the same
No,
deal.
because the fence is covered by a different part of the
Yeah.
law. I
Yeah,
mean,
This is structure.
as much as I don't like easements, it sure sounds to me like the easement was a better alternative, but well.
it would remove your necessity for being here.
That's what we asked for initially.
That's what we asked for, this is why we
This
got
time
to around for
that's
3
why
months
we're here.
because of what she told us.
Yeah,
She caused a lot of hardship. And she should have known the law and she should have known what she was doing, is in my opinion.
And we're totally in agreement with you in that we're trying to figure this out for the future because,
right,
and that's really the situation we're in. Everyone said, well, just give him an easement through your driveway. Well, it's not him, it's who he sells it to next.
exactly,
They
exactly.
could put a, RV center back there and we'd have, so anyway. We feel that the property value of selling the house there,
If we tear the garage completely down.
yeah, then we lose property value. So we're trying to
The
make.
garage would be worth, if you took another 15 feet off it, you'd have a 12-foot garage, and it would be worth.
Right, it's a shed.
Yeah.
Butchered up job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're a 24-foot deep garage. 24 by 24-foot garage is still.
it's a meaningful garage.
So when you proposed the easement to Alt House, to Dennis originally, was it a restricted easement? What kind of easement was it?
We haven't gotten that.
We
far.
didn't get that far because when we come down here to do
We
it,
could take a different route.
she had said, don't do an easement, go with the.
Yeah.
So we didn't even try the easement, push it that hard because she didn't want us to do an easement.
I like the plan, I'm in favor of. I mean, it really gets rid of an issue, because you're right on the edge of Saint Donatus. You have a residence that becomes a residence, and the rest of it becomes agricultural property. I'm all in favor of what you're trying to do here. I just wish that it was an easement. I mean, if it's an easement, there's just no issues. And I know Dennis, I'm not trying to say I know him well, that we're good friends, but I know what he's about up there. I'm sure all he wants is to be able to get in and out of there.
Get to his property.
Right, I'm sure, and an easement would give him all of that.
And he does have other access to it also, but this is much more.
No, he doesn't have no other access,
Oh, he doesn't, I thought he had access up on the north side.
no,
Oh, okay.
only driving through my barnyard.
Oh, I see, okay.
No, he's landlocked, you might as well say. Well, he's got that 30 feet.
Because this gives him access out of a hard paved road.
Right.
That's level.
Direct
It's
access.
safe.
Yeah, otherwise the bank is
Right.
taller than this
The
ceiling.
DOT wouldn't approve it, that's why he hasn't been able to build the
Right, I
driveway,
understand that.
you know, so.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's a good solution, you know,
yeah,
right.
you have a buyer for the house or?
We haven't tried because it's been going on with this and I didn't want somebody to come in and say,
right.
we're gonna have a
Yeah, right.
driveway here, we're gonna have this, we're gonna sell your garage
Okay.
completely in half or whatever. So we haven't even re-listed the house because we didn't know how big the garage is gonna be or what was gonna happen as far as.
Gotcha.
So an easement makes all this go away.
I mean, it does.
I mean, it cuts us out of the process.
So if I do an easement, then it's the 20,000. I don't have to go to the next zoning meeting, I don't have to do nothing then?
What's in zone right now,
Yeah.
residential?
It's been,
Yeah.
that's taken care of. From what Becca said, it's been approved.
Yeah, it has been approved, yeah.
So it's residential, so the lot size isn't an
Not an
issue.
issue. And in fact, the lot size of the house wouldn't shrink if it remains an easement.
Right,
Because
exactly.
it doesn't shrink.
It makes their property a
Deb,
little smaller, but,
Well,
you know, I mean,
Well-
not legally, but.
realistically, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
I'm not totally familiar with easements myself. So if he were to put in the driveway itself
Yeah,
and then do an easement on the driveway, then the person that buys that parcel takes over the easement agreement.
yes. Yeah, the easement would run with the land.
The easement
Yeah.
runs with the land.
And I would assume in a modern age, it would be a survey easement.
Oh, yeah, you're not gonna get a plat recorded without it being a survey.
Right, so it'd be a survey easement that he'd pay for, and it'd be part of the plan of that house that you sell.
And
And
then,
that's not gonna add any cost. This has to be platted anyhow. I mean, I'm sure. it'd
Well,
be some survey.
The survey, he's already got the
Yeah.
20-foot survey through
Right.
there. It's just whether,
Right.
we stopped him because we we're waiting to see
Sure.
if it's gonna be, what it was gonna be.
So did he buy the land with the 30-foot easement or the right to go through your barnyard?
No, he bought it with the 30-foot to go through my barn. He didn't buy it from me. It was a completely different person. I had bought the front half of the farm. The guy that owned the farm kept the back half.
I see.
And after 5 years or whatever, then he sold the back half off. And he had kept that 30 feet out to the road.
So it wasn't landlocked.
So it was not landlocked, so that's how they did it. So then, when Dennis went to, which he should have did before he bought it, probably, he should have went to the DOT and got the driveway, found out if he could do the driveway, but he didn't.
Right.
Water under the bridge, whatever. So then he kept driving my driveway while he was arguing with trying to get through that 30-foot. And I think you can see all the people that live in the house just moved out. They were like 99 years old. It's all big evergreens planted along there.
Yeah.
So he had come to them and want to take 100 foot off their yard, 50 feet off the road, knock all the trees down. Well, they didn't want to do that naturally, but. Oops. And it's such a big steep hill. It's like a weird driveway. So that's what we thought. This would be the better solution.
So if you give him the 20-foot easement, is he gonna give you back the 30-foot piece of property?
Well, that's, the thing, we'll have to go back and
They'd
negotiate.
have to talk to him again.
We'd have to go back to the work, cause now we wouldn't be deeding each other. He was deeding me 30 feet, I was deeding him the 20 feet, so now I don't want to be doing an easement.
You can't sell him some property to the left of the house, or is that north? Or- Well, what's the bank in there?
Where it goes into their house pretty quick. He-
Our house should be like right here.
Okay,
Yeah,
This would be our house right here.
I'm saying the division line of the two of that parcel that you just bought. Could you put a?
That big bank is still there.
Still-
It's the same size bank all the way along to, it starts to taper off when you get about right in here and then it goes to nothing.
Okay.
Their driveway is perfectly level going into their house now. It's just like, it's big high bank all the way along.
Okay.
So Lori didn't say that there was a legal obstacle to the easement, she just said she didn't. She'd rather not have an easement.
No, our lawyer specifically asked her, when he was talking to her, there's no setback rule, and if it's easement versus a deed, there's no issue, and she said, no, there's not. But there is,
But there is.
so she misspoke, and she,
no, there is no problem if it's an easement.
No, she said either way, deeded or easement, there'd be no difference. You could still, no setback.
Then that's an incorrect statement.
yeah,
It
so
was.
she misspoke to him, and she acknowledged that and said she was sorry. But that doesn't change it, because we had legal work then drawn up based on that.
I got you.
So now it's subject to the arrangement we have being an actual deed.
Make a motion to close public comment.
Well, was there any comments on this back then?
There were not,
First house to the right here? That would
Harold
be-
Miller, yeah,
What, have you talked to him?
yeah,
Or-
right there's the house, yeah.
Yeah. No,
No problem. He's in the city limits, see,
right. And even if you do an easement, instead of talking about here, which isn't what we're talking about, but we're talking about it anyway, you'd still have to tear down some of the garage to even make the easement, right?
I would take 6 foot off the garage, yeah, so it'd be a clean 20 foot through.
Okay. Okay, so we have a motion to close the public hearing. Do we have a second?
A second.
All in favor of that, motion with an aye? Aye. Any discussion?
Well, I guess I still think for the future, the easement's the cleaner way to go. And I don't have any problem with it, and I don't see, I'm not a lawyer and I'm not the county attorney, but I don't see any legal obstacles to it.
Right.
I mean, we'd have something in writing, it would be surveyed, it would be useful,
And it solves the problem.
and it solves the problem.
Zero
I
setback.
don't want to talk to headache, but I agree, but I really, and I know this is gonna grate on you to have to go back and see if you can renegotiate something. But God, it's just a reasonable solution. It really is, if it's an easement. I mean, there are no problems. There are just no problems.
And I'm not sure we would approve the zero setback.
Yeah, well, that was my concern. I mean, that was my concern from the get-go.
I don't think a zero setback will work.
Well, it might be like 1 foot, but not,
Right.
but not.
Yeah.
But if you give somebody a zero setback, it's just a problem waiting to happen many, many, many times over. in a non-commercial, in downtown Bellevue or. That's fine where there's commercial buildings, but. You know, nobody's gonna understand it out in the middle of the country either. That's my experience. How much 20-foot easement or 20-foot purchase, how much construction is he gonna have to do there to get, just lay some gravel down or do
Pretty
some,
much, it's almost perfectly level.
so just lay some gravel down.
Try to extend the culvert by the highway and just rock
There's
it.
a couple of little trees. I went by there yesterday and.
Yeah, it's not,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, no, you drive through there with the bulldozer and it's, yeah,
Peel off 6, 8 inches of side so you can put base in and,
right,
yeah, where the trees are, the road fronter
yeah.
is a bad driveway.
Oh, yeah.
That is straight up.
No, I hear what you're saying. It is. That's not a very good solution.
If you go with an easement, I guess I would work with your lawyer on what type of easement you two could agree on.
But, well, they could give him the broadest easement possible. I mean, they're willing to sell him the property.
Right.
Give the broadest easement possible. Let Dennis's lawyer draw up the easement agreement.
Oh, yeah, just reduce it to writing. So there's no misunderstanding,
No, it'd have to be, yeah.
and that's back, you know, surveyed and everything, so. I guess I'm tempted to make a motion that we deny your request and encourage you to go get an easement. I think that's the simplest. I know it's been a lot of frustration on your part
Yeah, I wish you,
and money.
3 months ago, this would have been a lot better idea.
Yeah, well,
Because this was the idea we had 3 months ago.
right, I think you had the right, I think you have the right idea.
Yeah, I have to say, I agree with him. I mean, that's,
Okay, so there's a motion on the table.
Second,
Did you
I think
make
he made the
You made
motion.
the motion.
I'll second it.
oh, I thought you made the motion.
No, I said I agree with you.
Oh, I'll make the motion, I don't care.
Okay, so we've got a motion to deny. All in favor of that? Motion with an aye. Aye. Those opposed? Things nine. Motion carries. Sorry.
It's been a tough night.
All our houses are gonna get eggs. I know they are.
Well, unfortunately, we agree with it too, but,
Yeah, no.
It was the way it should have been, that's what. Say, a couple months ago, this is what we wanted, it's just that it got drug into a whole bunch of
Yeah.
rigmarole for nothing.
And that's bad advice.
oh.
Cause now we don't even have to come back, right? We got our 20,000, we're good, right?
Right.
Right.
That was only.
You just need to work it out with lawyers.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
That's not here.
My curiosity is, come on, who are the lawyers? Who are the lawyers about? It's okay. You don't
Out
have-
of view,
The one by Graham's,
running grounds.
I can't think of his name, that's Danny.
Oh, first equal file,
Yeah, no,
somebody there. I mean, that's who they used to be.
Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't, maybe it's the one.
it's just that we gotta renegotiate now what we're trading for what, and that was.
Cause now he might say,
It was a bit of an
Yeah,
issue.
now, yeah, is, well, but the benefit for him is he won't have to pay any real
No
tax
taxes.
that's done.
no,
You know, he gets exactly what he wanted and he doesn't have to pay real estate tax.
it just sounded better
I
when he
know.
was getting something for something, you know what I mean, land for land.
I-
I'm not saying it's not gonna work, I'm just saying.
It's just more rigmarole, but
It is, it's another step.
it's the right thing, I mean, we don't disagree that that's probably the right thing.
And that's why we started, that was started.
Okay, thank
Well,
you,
good luck, good luck.
Sorry.
Best of luck to you. Yeah.
thank you, Becca.
Yeah. Chance.
Those are nice people, I know. Yeah.
So Becca, word to the wise, don't let your own prejudice interfere with you do your job.
Yes.
Look for what is simple
Yeah,
and the best for the people that are applying.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay, the next item.
We made the right decisions both times tonight. Those are hard decisions. We made
Yes.
the right decision.
tough decisions, for sure. Tough cases. It was tough cases.
That's why we get paid the big bucks.
That's right. I'd be tempted to send them their money back, their fees back. The $250.
I waived it for tonight.
Days. Oh, well.
Any other items from the public?
None.
And anybody got any items they want to discuss? About the staff?
Well, with the zoning ordinance update. Laura and I presented to the zoning commission last week, and there were a couple chapters that involved the board of adjustment, and the zoning commission was good with both as long as the board of adjustment is good with them also. Starting with the extension options for conditional use permits, special exceptions after the new zoning ordinance will be called conditional use permits. And at this time, in the ordinance, there's no formal guidance on how or when a conditional use permit can be extended. That means any expired or near expired conditional use permit generally has to go back through the Board of Adjustment for a full public hearing. We had the garage build extension last month and for Dresslers, and then next month, one of the cases will be a cabin build in Leisure Lake that is not nearing completion, and their condition expires in September. So the idea behind the extension is to give the zoning administrator limited authority to handle the certain low risk extensions. And they will still have a public hearing process for the higher impact or controversial. So is there any questions or concerns on how that process may look? And when a conditional use permit is granted by the board, you are able to state on it that an administrative renewal is permitted or not permitted. So right from the get-go, you will have that authority also.
Sounds good.
And they're automatically gonna be 1 year. So we don't have to go through, oh, we forgot, put a time limit on it,
Exactly, yeah, 1 year.
and we always get the hearing.
You say make them all 1 year?
Well, that's what, it will do that automatically unless we make it otherwise. We can change it, but if we don't say anything, then it's 1 year. And they can only extend it twice.
Yes. Which will then help anybody from dragging on too much, but it'll also alleviate some of the ones that haven't been able to find a good contractor, they're doing it themselves, weather delays. So that is that piece. The second piece is, with the conditional use permits and special requirements. The purpose of that, the goal is to simplify and reorganize how conditional uses and the requirements are presented in the ordinance. And just going through that, special exceptions are now renamed as conditional uses. They will be still approved by the Board of Adjustment. They're listed by major land use categories such as residential, commercial, and industrial. So it kind of just really tightens the zoning ordinance instead of some of these different sections being scattered throughout the ordinance. It will all be in one chapter. So it'll be easier to administrate, easier for the public to look up any questions, and then just keep everything pretty much streamlined.
Okay, do we need to vote and approve this
You
or?
can just do consensus.
Okay.
We do or we do not?
She said consensus.
Consensus. I don't need a formal vote.
I don't have any problem with it.
I don't either.
I don't either.
It's like good revisions.
Yes,
I'm curious, one thing on page 5, it talks about wind energy conversion system.
yeah,
Isn't that still in the works?
they are. So there are there are placeholders in the new zoning ordinance, and the wind energy convergence system is actually an approved ordinance. But there are placeholders for the data processing and, utility scale battery storage and utility scale solar. So there's still placeholders in the zoning ordinance, but those will be put in as soon as we get them done.
Okay.
Anything else back?
Next meeting, we will have that one case of the extension in Leisure Lake, so that will be September 22nd at 7 p.m. And then in October, we'll change, if we have cases, to 6 p.m.
So just the one thing next month, probably?
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn,
So moved. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
So September 22nd, still 7 p.m.?
Correct.